G'day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at how the TEQ Goku or the TEQ World Tournament Goku does in the red zone against Broly. So Goku, I think everyone knows by now, is a pretty nuts character. I think he's really insane. If you look at his leader skill, he's an Earth-bred fighters or powerful comeback category leader, key +3, HP attack and defense of 170%, and he gets an additional attack and defense and HP of 30% for those who belong to the Battle of Fate or World Tournament categories, which is pretty cool. He greatly raises attack for one turn, causes immense damage to the enemy, and lowers attack on a super attack. In terms of his passive, he activates the entrance animation upon entry once only, which you just saw, and it is pretty cool. He has guards all attacks for one turn from the start of turn, key +2, attack and defense of 101% for 5 turns from the start of turn, key +3 and attack and defense of 150%. He also has an additional attack and defense of +10% up to 100% with each attack received, attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy, high chance of nullifying key blast supers directed at the character, and a high chance to guarding all attacks, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack for 4 turns when guard is activated. It also has an additional defense at 20% whenever guard is activated up to 100%, and an additional attack and defense of 150%, and launches an additional super attack and guards all attacks permanently starting from the turn in which the character or a ally's revival skill is activated. Now this is a crucial part of his passive, and it's kind of what makes him so good. If it was just when he revives from his standby, or when his standby kind of, obviously kicked in, I don't think he would be as good. To give you a similar example, there's AGL Super Saiyan, Future Gohan, and Trunks. And that unit struggles because you can't run 2 of them. So you can't run 2 of them because when one revives, the other, it's impossible for them to revive. And this means that one of them will never have their full damage reduction kit that they could have. Now this is obviously a huge problem for them as a unit. But Goku circumvents this concept because Goku, he can activate his full passive off of other people's revives. Now this is something that's very, very important because it does constitute basically an incredibly simple premise for Goku. He doesn't need to die to activate his full passive. If he does get his standby off, he can still revive and be really, really solid. So that's really the super cool thing about Goku. Now obviously his standby skill can only be activated from the 6th turn when HP is 59% or less. This is not great. In theory it doesn't look like a lot, but in reality it actually means that even if you get Goku in turn 1, Goku can only activate his passive from turn 7, which is pretty late in the game. Like, when I say pretty late, I mean it's not like a standby skill you're going to be able to use when, for example, like you're in SBR or ESBR or something. So it's pretty interesting, it's pretty straightforward, super duper cool though. Basically his standby skill, really, really awesome because it gives a whole bunch of benefits. It's not just that it's a revive. Basically, he gives all allies key of 3 and attack of 59%. He gives all Earth-bred fighters category allies 50% defense, all World Tournament allies 50% defense. He revives with 59% HP recovered when a character or an ally attacking the same turn is KO'd. And obviously when he does get taken out, he will do an attack of 590% when the finish effect is activated. Now the big thing with the finish effect is if it doesn't crit, it won't do a lot of damage. That's just how some of these active skills work, especially these big kind of stat boost ones. If they don't crit, they don't do a lot of damage, but at the same time, it's fine. The main premise of it is actually for him to, you know, like revive and come back with health and everything like that. So yeah. Now the cool thing about Goku, like I said, is because the way his passive is constructed, it means we can run 2 Gokus, which is awesome. Key nullification, by the way, coming in clutch there. Really awesome stuff. But because you can run 2 Gokus, it is quite cool, because you do have the ability to then, have basically both Gokus activate their passive, and essentially have 2 incredibly strong defensive units that can do decent damage. Like Goku can do decent damage. He's got that attacks effective against all types when facing only one enemy, which is decent. You can build him full crit. He has built-in additionals, especially after he revives. So he's got mechanisms. He's got toolkits in his wheelhouse that can kind of make him offensively decent. We've already seen him in the Cell Max event, where he doesn't necessarily have time to fully build up, but he's kind of covered by that 101% 5-turn buff that he has. Now in Red Zone, he has time to, fully build up, so losing that 101% attack and defense buff isn't terrible either. So in both ways, Goku's really solid. For me personally, I think he's a fantastic unit. I think he's really incredibly strong overall, and I think one thing that's really, really fantastic about Goku, at least for me, is his leader skill. So Earthbred Fighters and Powerful Comeback is a very good combination of abilities. Earthbred Fighters obviously includes, as you guys know, Yamchas, Yajirobis, Gokus, Gohans, Piccolos, Krillins, Tiens, Master Roshis, pretty much any of the Trunkses as well. So it basically includes pretty much every single Z fighter from like the Dragon Ball Z arc onwards. And then Powerful Comeback includes a lot of Vegetas. It includes a lot of Vegetas. We're talking, Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas. We're talking SSBE Vegeta. We're talking some Brolys as well. Some Bardoks there as well, which is really, really solid. So some decent kind of, cross combinations there. I think there's pretty decent coverage when it comes to, those kind of units. It also includes some pretty nice fusion units as well. We're looking at, for example, Super Saiyan Gogeta. We're looking at, Strength Gogeta. So overall, it's a pretty solid kind of mix of abilities, and I think he's got good coverage for what you kind of want him to do, which I think is really, really good. So yeah, but yeah, honestly speaking, for me at least, I would have to say Goku is a top tier unit. Is he the best in the game? He's definitely up there, especially on the TUR side. I think the debate between him and Demon King Piccolo is really going to depend, one, on if you favor offense over defense, and two, not only are they both exceptional in both areas, but I think Demon King Piccolo maybe just lacks a linking partner to elevate him above Goku. I think both, if you were to put them as joint best TUR in the game, I wouldn't even bat an eyelid. I think they are exceptionally good, and I think they do a fantastic job. So, I can't really separate the two, and I really don't think I should have to. I really think they are, a top tier unit, both of them in their own right. And yeah, honestly, I'm just impressed. Like, the animations, the kits, the leader skills, I think were all really well done. I think they've managed to make Demon King Piccolo work, which I find very impressive through his combination of leader skills. I think he's always a difficult one, link set wise and things like that, but I think they've managed to make him work, which makes me very happy. And yeah, honestly speaking, I just have a great time running these units. I just have an absolutely fantastic time running these units. They're a lot of fun to run. They're great, they feel great, they perform great, and yeah, just honestly speaking, just a fantastic kind of combination of units. I think Goku's team is great. He's got some good linking partners. He's very fortunate in that he has one of the better units in the game as his linking partner. So he's got the physical Goku Youth from the Path to Power event. So that immediately is, I don't want to say, like I said, I don't want to say it elevates him above, but it's definitely something that's imperative. I think it's 100% something that is, yeah, super important when you're looking at like Goku and his overall performance. The fact that he's got another top tier TUR unit, I think is important. But yeah, Goku's standby skill, you can see it now, looks awesome. Like really looks awesome, and it's actually very usable. Like it's very, very usable. It's an exceptional ability. I think it's really, really good overall. And yeah, I'm honestly just super happy with everything Goku does. You can see here, you're gonna get that revive, get that headbutt to come out. And like I said, unfortunately it doesn't do the greatest damage in the world. It's not like a huge damage dealer or anything like that. It doesn't, blow people's minds or anything like that. If it doesn't crit, if it crits, it does decent damage. But yeah, look, either way, I think Goku's fantastic. And now you get the other Goku fully activating his passive, and 941,000 defense. Okay, with guard active, by the way. So yeah, pretty crazy. But yeah, so I think overall it's really sorted in terms of his performance. And honestly, I'm just very impressed with Goku. He's great in all content. At 55%, he takes a little bit more time to build up, for sure. I think that's always, like really kind of really good. But I think overall he is a fantastic unit, and I think at the end of the day, if you have him, you will have a unit that can help you really complete all the hard content in the game, and a unit that should be solid for a relatively long period of time. His combination of abilities, the fact that he guards, the fact that he has a revival skill, his solid leader skill, I think there's a vouch that he could definitely probably be one of the better aging units in the game. And yeah, I would not even bat an eyelid at that. I think Goku's just really good, and yeah, just does a fantastic job. And you can see with all these attack stats and damage and additional attacks and defense and everything that's going on, I think it's really good. So yeah, overall super duper solid. But yeah, I think that kind of covers everything. Obviously, great performance in red zone against Broly. He'd do well in any red zone, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. See you next time. Bye.